अवतार
Yes.
मेहर बाबा की जय।
Jai.
अवतार मेहर बाबा
अवतार
की
मेहर बाबा की जय।
Jai.
अवतार मेहर
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Jai.
जय बाबा प्रताप जी। जय बाबा।
Jai Baba to everybody. I today again we are resuming the same topic about age. I have some beautiful incidents to tell about age. You can hear me properly?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We, apart from Eraj attending to Baba personally and then interpreting Baba gestures, communicating with other people, whatever Baba wants to say. Besides this, there were certain specialities about Eraj's capability. Any tough question, Baba will just interest upon Eraj. Yes, any tough question, and Eraj would resolve it. That is also true. He will not come, unsuccessful from that. Especially, I would tell a couple of examples that at somewhere there was a bank, and it was a in the bazaar, and Baba wanted to have seclusion for for about 15 minutes or so in that bank, and the bank is running. In fact, all the staff members are there, and Baba sends Eraj to request the manager to vacate the bank because Baba wants to have some little time for seclusion. And now it's so very absurd that when the bank is running there, it is a working day for them, and even then Baba wants to have some for his special reasons. Baba wants to have a little time for seclusion in that bank, and he wants all the people, all the staff members to vacate the whole bank. And Eraj goes to the bank manager and tells him about it. And in fact, the way in which the Eraj tells him, the manager agrees to all the people to vacate the bank. And then Baba had his seclusion period for it's not very long time, but then it was Baba took that time for sitting in seclusion for some time, and thereafter everything was over. Other staff members were again resumed their duties. Such tasks which ARH used to do, it is very unimaginable. Now just see, the bank is in a working. It is time of their working, and Baba wants it to be vacated. It's not. Just impossible thing. But then Herach is there, who manages everything. There are other incidences also wherein Eraj was interested to have a particular job, and Eraj has completed job very successfully. Once when I had gone to Berazar, I always used to have some little time alone with Eraj. If all the people would go in the garden, and all the people will there meeting with so many people, and then I would be just spending little time with Eraj, and Eraj also like that. At such a time, just once I asked Eraj, I told Eraj that I have never seen Baba getting upset with you. I have never seen Baba getting displeased with you. And Eraj told me, no, Pratap, there were this couple of incidents when Baba got very much upset with me. And he started telling me about that. I am just going to tell both the incidents today. One incident was that there was some close family, Baba's close family, and they were having some dispute among themselves. There were two groups in one family. There were some two groups of brothers. They were not agreeing with each other for some matter, maybe a property matter or maybe some other matter. But then they were in dispute and they were so very stern in their stand that it was very difficult for them for to convince them. And to settle that issue, it was somewhere. I Erich has not told me the place, but it was, and that family also. He never told me that name of the family. But then he said that Erich was sent there to settle the dispute. Now this was very tough job because both the parties were very adamant. They were not coming to terms, and Erich was supposed to tell them, to convince them Baba's wish and to convince them and bring about amicable settlement. And Erich goes there, but Baba has given a time, say evening, say by 7 o'clock or so, 7 o'clock or so. Baba was in Mirazad. Baba told Erich that you should be back by 7 o'clock. I'd taken 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whatever the time may be. But time was given for returning back from that job. Now Erich goes there and have a long discussion with both these parties, two parties in one family. And it was really, Erich told me that it was so very tough time that they were so very adamant, so very obstinate that they were not ready to even accept what your Baba says. That was the time. And Erich was trying to convince them. Erich was trying to tell them that if you agree with each other, you come to a proper settlement, then Baba will be pleased, but they are not bothered about it. And it was really a very, very tough job for Erich. But somehow, now whenever Baba gives certain work to somebody, there is always a support from behind. He always gives a helping hand. Perhaps Erich must have received such a helping hand, and it seemed to him that these parties will agree. Erich will be able to convince them and bring about a settlement. And they also, both the parties, gradually they come to a point that they were ready to accept whatever Baba want them to do. And Erich was a little happy about it, and that this was to be reduced in writing. Now, when the whole process was going on, the time was getting out. Baba had given a certain time for him to return to Berazat, but he was getting delayed. Now there, after accomplishing the job which Erich was interested to, he brought about a very amicable settlement among the two parties and was returning. And here Baba was, because the area was getting late, Baba was very much upset. Baba was all the time inquiring, why you are not come yet? What you are not come yet? He never listened to me, whatever I said to him and all that, he was abusing. And when Erich returns, Baba is not going to listen to whatever report he has to give. Baba is not going to listen. His only point was, why you are late? I don't want to listen anything from you. You are not observed by orders to you. I wanted you to be here by 7 o'clock, but you have delayed, and I'm not going to tolerate that. And in that anger, in that angry mood, Baba gives him a very strange order. This is what ARH has told me personally. Baba gave him a very strange order. Go and eat shit. And ARH very in a dejected mood, very sad. He was also not very, I mean, he was repeating that I could not observe the timing which Baba had given to me, and I could not literally obey Baba. That is what his mind was. I mean, he was repenting on that. But then, since Baba had said that go and eat shit, he went to the toilet. This is the exact description which he has given. In those days, there used to be not very good toilets as they are today. Today there are very sophisticated toilets with all commodes and this and that, and all tiles, beautiful tiles, colorful tiles, and everything so very nice. But those days it was not so. The the method was that there used to be a raised platform with opening, and then one has to climb up that platform, and then there would be a big tray below, and all that shit will fall there. And the morning, the person would come and would just clean it off, put the whole thing in his box. He will carry a box. He will put all that shit in his box and take away for, I mean, just disposing it of somewhere. This was the method during those times. This was the condition during those times. And ARH said that I went there and I bent down. I stretched my hand. I was just very close to hold it. And there was a big knock on the door. ARH, Baba wants you. And he had to give up that. He just put on his trousers and then comes out and go to Baba in that sad mood. And Baba says, "You have not reported to me what has happened." ARH says, "Baba, I was telling you, I was trying to tell you, but you are not ready to listen to me." And he just asked me to go and eat shit. So then Baba said, you could have told me, you could have reported me. Was all right, what was happened? So ARH told Baba, what happened is that I was trying, and the people, both the parties were so very adamant. They were not coming to any terms, and I had a very tough time with them. And ultimately, they appeared to be agreeing. What your Baba wants them to do, they were coming to an agreement. And that agreement was to be written down. And for that matter, because I wanted to complete that job which was entrusted to me, I wanted to complete the job. Take writing from both the parties. If he would have not done that, they may have changed they may have changed their opinion. So for that matter, I was just delayed for some time. And Baba said, Baba just calls him, Baba embraces him, and Baba says, you have done an excellent job. I'm very happy. I'm very happy you have done an excellent job. Can one imagine? Can one imagine the obedience of Erech? And there was another incident which was also a very serious one. In the year 1951 or so, Baba stopped the outward activities of new life. Remember, we cannot say that Baba has abandoned that new life or Baba has stopped that new life. No. The circular which Baba had said that the new life, even though it will live by itself, even though nobody is there to live it. So that new life exists all the time. This is what Baba has said in that circular. So whenever we say that Baba has stopped or withdrew from the new life, it is not very correct, because what we have to say is that Baba has stopped outward activities about the new life, all that gypsy life and then begging stage and all that. That outward activities were stopped. That much we can say. But we cannot say that the new life was stopped. Now, this in 1951 or so, Baba had sent four people back to their homes, and Baba allowed them to go there. Gani was one of them, and they were allowed to, lead their family life, have some business or do whatever they want. But they have to abide by the instructions of the new life or the conditions of the new life. If they observe that, then they will have the same connection with Baba's new life as they will be having in their personal presence. Same connection. And these people, four people, they were sent back mostly due to their, health conditions. Gani's health condition was not good. There was another person by name Anna Jakkal. He was very old person. So such people were sent back, and then Baba also after a few months after the Delhi phase, Delhi Baba stayed. Thereafter he came to Hyderabad for that Manonash period. After completing that, he came to Mehrazad. He had that Manonash work completed, and Erech was involved in that. And ultimately, Baba made out a plan to visit US, United States. There was a demand from, of course, demand has already always been there. But then that program was pretty fixed, and the people in US were very eagerly waiting. Elizabeth and Loriana Majpili, and then so many people. They were very eagerly awaiting for Baba's arrival in US. And Baba had made out the plan to go to US. And he asked Erech to accompany him. And believe me, such a obedient boy. Erech being so very obedient boy, he flatly refuses to go with Baba. And Baba says to him, "What do you do? Do you understand what you are saying?" "No, Baba, not. I am not to accompany you. I am not going anywhere because I am so very tired." And Baba insisting that without you, how you can imagine that I'll be able to go there and mix with the people. "No, Baba, whatever may be the case, but I am not in a condition to take up this travel." And after so much of very hot discussion, Erech was very stern about it. He was very obstinate about it that, "No, Baba, I am so very fed up and so very tired with this new life. that I cannot accompany you on this US trip. And there also Baba is very upset, very, very upset. This is another instant. First was that one, and this is another instant when Baba, this is in answer to my question that I asked whether I have never seen Baba getting upset with you. But these are the two examples which Ereja told me. And in spite of Baba's, I'm repeatedly telling Eraj to accompany him to US because so many people of his lovers are waiting for him to come. And without you, I will have a very difficult time. But then Eraj said, no, Baba, oh, no, I will not come. Please excuse me, I am not coming. Thereafter I asked Eraj because in the same trip, Baba had met with an accident, that accident at Oklahoma. So I had asked Eraj, because you were not there, you didn't accompany Baba, and you heard about this accident. The news was received here. Have you repented of that? There was very surprising answer from Eraj. Eraj said, no, Pratap. That time, whatever stand I had taken, that was because of the bodily compulsion, because I was so very tired. And he just told me that you cannot imagine the hardships which you have faced during new life, going with Baba in new life. We were really not even a minute we could have free time and rest time. Every time we were just caught up in that thoughts and that alertness about the new life conditions and all that. And Baba was getting more and more strict about it. And we have to all the time alert. In fact, we didn't have our own life at all. Eraj's mind was completely controlled by Mir Baba. What Eraj told me that I could have gone, if I had gone there, I would have to have face the same situation because Baba would not allow me to rest. And whenever we traveled with Baba to Western countries, Australia and all these places, European countries, there was an excursion. It was all the time our being alert about Baba's, keeping Baba's mood. We had to be. And in fact, I feel that Eraj must have never enjoyed any sightseeing and all that when Baba is with him. That was the situation. And Eraj told me that you cannot imagine, Pratap, that I was so very tired because of this new life conditions and new life course of life that it was really impossible for me to, because I had to be all the time with Baba. I had no personal rest or personal desire or personal liking or disliking, nothing, nothing as sort. I have to just give my mind to Baba and Baba will control it. So in that condition, I just refused to go with Baba. Baba got very much upset and Baba told me that if that is your attitude, then there is no use you're living with me. You can go away. You should go away, in fact. And Araj said, all right, you do not want me to be with you here, to live here with you, I will go away. And then it was getting evening time, and Araj says that I came to my room, and in a very, of course, it was very, very heavy thoughts in the mind. He was just trying to bear that. Baba telling him to get away from here. There is no use of your being with me. And now I have to go away. He came to his room and started collecting his clothes and whatever personal articles which he was using. And while doing so, when he was packing up, a thought came to his mind that all these things, they do not belong to me. They have been provided by Meher Baba. So what I have to take all these things with me. He again unpacked the whole thing and thinks of going without taking anything from there. But then another strange thought came to his mind that even the clothes he is wearing, they are not his possessions. They are also being provided by Baba. So he has not any authority to take them with him. Then what to do? He decided to go naked. He decided to leave in all the things which was in his possession, all the things, including his own dress, own clothes, which he was wearing that time, and go naked. And that was midnight. He thought that let us wait for some time. When it becomes very dark and becomes midnight, I will take out all my clothes and go naked and find out some place thereafter. I may pick up some days from somewhere, goes to some relations, some people in Ahmednagar, and then put on my clothes there. That he had decided. He had packed up. He had opened all this packing. He has kept aside and waiting for that moment to undress himself and go away. And midnight, there was a big knock on the door, and somebody says from outside, Araj, there is a message from you from Baba. Baba says that he will decide about you tomorrow morning. In the tomorrow morning, in the Mandali meeting, Baba will decide about you. See the Araj who was thinking of going naked all the day, leaving everything and being naked. There is message from Baba that I will decide about you tomorrow morning. Next morning, when all the Mandali gathered, Jain's Mandali, in the Mandali hall, the statue was opened by Baba himself. And then Baba told it that since you expressed your inability to come with me, I will give you some other duty which you have to carry out. And then Baba told Araj and Pendu to go together, travel through different parts of India, especially all the early places in the south and north and Dehradun and so many Hamirpur and Andhra and all these places, and prepare grounds for Baba's visit to those places. Collect the people, tell the people about Meher Baba, Tell the people that Baba will be giving darshan here. Tell the people about the greatness of Mir Baba, about his advent in the form of human being. He has come, God has come in Mir Baba. He is the avatar of these age. He tell all these things to people and prepare a ground for my visits to those places. And Eres says that Baba, being with you, I have never given any such a talk. Leave aside the public talk, but not even a talk with few people. I am not used to that. But then Baba said that you start doing it, I will be there behind you. And so Erech and Pendu went, they traveled so many places in Andhra, so many places in Uttar Pradesh, northern India. And we know that Baba visited these places in both in 1953 and 1954, both Andhra and northern India, Hamirpur. And there were thousands and thousands of people coming for Baba's darshan. Thousands in thousands. It was so very grand show. And believe me, many of the Andhrites have told me thereafter, after so many years, Baba visit during that time to Andhra and Hamirpur. That has played a wonders. Baba had adopted that fiery free life. He was in fiery free life. After new life, he started 3 phases of his life. One was a complicated free life, and then full free life and fiery free life, something like that. And that Baba, during that fiery free life, he has visited all these places in Hamirpur and Andhra. And so many people have come in Baba's contact, and thereafter they have become very staunch lovers of Meher Baba. I have met some of the people who have first time seen Baba during that travel, and they had become very staunch lovers, very good workers for Baba. So this was the result, and these are the 2 incidents which Erech had told me. Now, Erech had also a capacity of convincing the people about any question is put before him, he will answer it in a very convincing manner. Very few people have got this quality. They will just confuse you more than solving your problem. But Erech was very thoughtful in that. Once my son Prashant had asked him, Prashant also has a very good relation with Erech. He also used to go and talk very freely with Erech, and Erech used to entertain him also. Erech knew that this boy is very clever and intelligent and very, very efficient in working for Baba. He was composing songs, and he's composing drama plays and all that. So he had a very good opinion about Prashant also. So once Prashant asked him that in the repentance prayer, the last line is, in your unbounded mercy, we ask you to forgive us, O God, for all these sins committed by us, and to forgive us for our constant failures to think and speak and act according to your will. He had his own doubts about that word will. Prashant put this question before Erech, that I feel that it should be the word should be wish, because we are talking with Meher Baba, and that is a repentance prayer. So the word should be wish. And what Erech gave an answer is that in the beginning, when Erech has read this whole prayer, he himself had the same thought. He himself had the same thought that the word should be wish instead of will. But since Baba had approved it, then he kept quiet. That is what he told Prashant. One another question which was put before Erach is that in our Pune center, when we, after the program is over, we have Aarti first, and then we have prayers. And after the prayers, Gaate Chalo. That is the song. This is the sequence that we observe in Pune center. But during prayers, all the people keep sitting. They do not stand up. And that was some criticism was there about this procedure that we are following in Pune center. It was right from the beginning that we never used to stand for prayers. We used to sitting. One would recite the prayer. All the other people will recite mentally. That was the procedure which was being followed. And Eris was asked about this, whether what is his opinion about reciting prayers. Then Erachviri, after little thinking about it, he said that I will not give any authoritative answer to that. But the incidents which had taken place during Baba's time, I will tell you about that. And he had told them that whenever any special occasion, Baba used to ask the people to recite the prayers. There also, everybody was joining reciting the prayer. One person in each language will be reciting prayer. There is four languages in which prayers used to be recited, and both the prayers, the Parvardigar prayer and repentance prayer, both the prayers used to be recited. There are four languages were English, then Hindi, then Telugu, and Marathi. These were the four languages in which the prayers used to be recited in Baba's presence, in Baba's time, in Savas programs also. The last prayer was not in existence at that time. And the last prayer was, in fact, called as a prayer for the Mandali. Now, that's a different topic altogether. There can be, I mentioned, different opinions on that. But that was a prayer which had come in existence afterwards. But about these two prayers, Parvardigar prayer and repentance prayer, every time Eris said that Baba used to stand up, Baba used to wash his hands, and Baba used to stand, Baba used to fold his hands, and then somebody will recite the prayer. That used to be there. Now, then he said that now it is for you to decide for yourself. That was a very good answer which Erich had given to us. And then another question was put to Erich was whether it is necessary for all Baba lovers to pray at a particular time, that is laid down in the for the prayers in at the Samadhi. That is 7 o'clock in the morning and 7 o'clock in the evening. Whether that is a binding, whether that is a mandate. And Erich gave an answer to that. Erich said, no, it is not so. It is just for the convenience. There should be some activity. And the prayers is the best activity. To have prayers in the morning and in the evening, and there should be fixed time. It was all decided by Mansari. And that was a proper step she had taken. It is for the people to observe it. It is for people to, they may choose their own time, different time. And Eris said that it is not a mandate. It is not anything instructed by Mir Baba. It was for the convince of the people for some activities before the samadhi, for gathering people. Mansari had decided to have prayers in the morning 7 o'clock and evening 7 o'clock. Now, Eras said that I don't observe that time. I always pray, recite prayers in the morning at 5 o'clock. That is the time I am praying. And different people may have different timing. But then our KK Ramakrishnan, a secretary of Pune Center, he had his own thoughts about this collective prayer. What he used to say that when you at 7 o'clock, you are wherever you are, and you pray, you recite prayer at that particular time, 7 o'clock in the evening or morning, wherever you are, if you mentally pray or out loudly pray, standing, if you're standing, you are at home, you are on the road, you get aside, you are in the car, if you follow that time, you are joined with the samadhi, as if you are present there. And the what should I say, the wavelength is joined, the wave is joined with samadhi. When you recite that prayer, you join yourself with that samadhi. And there is sort of a, what should I say, a wave between you and samadhi, which is joining you with the samadhi, and all the humanity which is coming in that way, they get benefited to that. This is beautiful thought here he used to put up. And we have observed during in Andhra, some of the people, if it is 7 o'clock, they are driving car, they will stop the car on the side of the road. They will get down and recite the prayer. And after the prayer, they will again resume their travel. So this was the answer which Eresh had given. It is not a mandate. It is not, compulsion. People may have their own time. But according to my personal opinion, whatever time you choose, you should get bound to it. Never postpone it. Never take it earlier, never to postpone it. And it is my own personal experience that you escape that time, then the prayer for that day is gone. You don't feel, thereafter, you don't feel like praying. You may think that at the time of going to bed, I will pray. That never happens. That day is lost. So you have to get bound to any particular time. If at all you don't want to observe 7 o'clock, then you, whatever time you choose, you have to get bound to it. That is the time on which only Meher Baba has the control. It is time for Baba. It is a time of your life. In your life, you are given that time to Baba, exclusively for Baba. And that you have to observe. You may pray at different time, but that time should be observed, that particular time. Don't change it. Don't make it, just according to your convenience. Don't change it. If you should stick on to that time. This is all some of the opinions of the elderly people and some of my opinion. Just to stick to the time. That's what I personally feel. If you sleep over that time, then you never pray. It is my personal opinion. That's very unhappy state of affairs. So this is of the prayer. Erach had given his opinion. And one another question I remember that somebody had asked that the girl, she was a girl, young girl, who asked Eraj, in our culture, in our Hindu culture, even in the culture of the Indians, people bow down to the elderly people. And according to Baba, one should not get one should not get that, allow anybody to bow down to you. And this question was put to before Eraj by a girl, young girl. She said that it is a very customary, and it is not with that sort of a thought that we are bowing down to some saintly person or that. It's just an elderly person, respectable person you are bowing down. And she said, "What is your opinion?" Iraj, Iraj, Iraj has given a very funny answer. In fact, I would say what Iraj said, that by touching his feet, why you want to pull his legs? He may fall down. Why you want to pull his legs? That is the answer which Iraj had given. But then this is also a question which anybody has their own opinion about it. But then I will tell you one incident in East-West gathering. One very staunch Baba lover, he was a government officer, he was working with the nomadic tribes. He was working in Pune, and he had to execute a very good plans made out by the government for these poor people, for these nomadic tribals. Some of them are, just they are dacoits also. They are thieves also. But apart, there has been some schemes for those people to bring them up with the level of the other people, and that officer was working on that. The officer was Mr. Lakshmi Ran Thade, LV Thade, one who had been a superintendent of my hostel where I was studying. So he was working with these people, and during East-West gathering, with Baba's permission, he had brought a number of people for Baba's darshan. He had first obtained Baba's permission, then he went to those people. He told that people that tomorrow I'm going to take you for darshan of God in human form. He is there, and you have to take his darshan. And the people were so very excited that what Mr. Thade had told me, that they were preparing for. He had told them for 3-4 days earlier, and on that day they were, washing their clothes and selecting best clothes, colorful clothes, and all that. They are, some of them are really poor, but not all. But they were nomads, not staying at one place. They will keep on going on from place to place. Nomadic tribe, they are called. And such people were brought to Baba. And there was a sort of a procession to observe. They were standing, all that colorful dressed people, they were standing in a queue, and that special queue was made for them. And one by one, they were coming before Baba and bowing down to Baba. And it was a really very beautiful scene to watch. Everybody was watching these people coming and bowing down to Baba. They are putting their hands on Baba's feet. And that Mr. Thade was standing at a little distance, but right in front of. And when all the people had finished, Baba seemed very happy. And when he looked at Mr. Thade and asked Mr. Thade, you feel happy about it? And Thade has said that, Baba, I'm very happy that you gave darshan to all these people. But then Baba showed his own feet. There was a swelling on Baba's feet. And Thade had tears in his eyes. What I have done. All these, they may be criminals in this group of people, and they have all put their heads on Baba's feet, and that all that samskaras have been put on Baba's feet, and Baba's feet got swelled. There was swelling on Baba's feet, and Thade felt that what I have done, I should have not done this thing. But then Baba told him that you need not worry. This is the purpose for which I have taken birth on this earth. For these people only I have come on this earth. So you need not to worry yourself. So bowing down has got that should say that result or that effect. When I think about my life, I was said to one saintly person by name Joshi Maharaj, and he was staying on the outskirts of Pune. And once we were playing cards with Baba, and that man had come to meet Baba in the morning. He wanted to have some guidance about the way he was practicing some yogas and all that, and he had come for Baba's opinion. And Baba had told him that you may continue with your take my man and you continue. That sort of message was Baba had told me. But then a written message was to be sent to him. Bar Nathu had written that message, kept ready that message in Marathi to be handed to that person. And Erach was worrying that Baba should ask some of these boys, young boys, to carry that message to that person. But Baba was not in a mood because he was playing cards with us, and he didn't like any disturbance when he's playing cards. And he just asked it, no, don't disturb me. Don't you see that I'm playing cards with you? Once he second time also Baba said, no, not now. And third time Erech asked Baba, if all these people will go, that message will lie here unattended, and there won't be anybody to carry that. So why don't you ask this Pratap and these other boys are sitting here? When Erech took my name, I just stood up, and by that time the game was also getting over. But then Baba, I looked at Baba, and since Erech had taken my name, I told Baba that Baba, if you want me, I can go there. I can take that message and hand over to that person. And Baba said, would you go? Yes, I said, Baba, yes, I go. Whether you know the place? I said, I do not know the place. I know the area, but I do not know the address of that person. But I'll find it out. I'll make inquiry and I'll find it out. And then Baba said, it's very hot outside. How you go? Whether you have a cap? And I said that, Baba, I'm very much habituated to go in hot sun because I don't wear caps. And then Baba says, all right, how will you go? I told him, Baba, that I have a bicycle. I got that message, carried it, and went just one inquiry, and I could find out that place. That was big bungalow in which that person had a room, and it was all a room of like a seat of a saintly person. When I went inside, there was a big gate, and it was open but half open. I just pushed it, and there was a voice from inside. There was a well right in front of the little away from that main gate. There was a well, and somebody was taking bath. And that person asked me, "What do you want?" I said, "I want to meet Joshi Maharaj." And then that person says, uh, this is the same body which is named as Joshi Maharaj." A very funny answer he gave me. Then I told him that I come from Meher Baba, and Baba has asked me to deliver this message to you. And that person called me. He was wet. He was wiping off his body with his dhoti. And he asked me just to follow him. I said, no, I have to go because I just hand over to, I just given the job of handing over the letter to you, and I have to go back to Baba. But that person said that, let me read the letter. And if I have to send some message, I will tell you about, you can carry that message yourself. So just wait for 5 minutes. So I went there. There was a bench there. I sat on the bench. That person had his seat, and he took that letter in his hand after wiping off that water from his body, and then he took this letter and touched it to his forehead, and then he read that letter, and then the message which he gave is, convey my pranams to Meher Baba, my salutations to Meher Baba. And after that, I got up to leave that place. But he said that since you have come, take prasad. He placed that prasad on my hand, on my back, and I came out with that prasad. I took my bicycle, came out of that compound, and with one hand on the cycle handle, in one hand holding that prasad, I came to Guru Prasad. And there, first question, Baba was watching. Baba was on the veranda. He was watching a game of the Mandali were playing game of drafts, and Baba was watching very keenly. As he saw me, I climbed up the steps, and the first question Baba asked me, "You have hand over the letter?" "Yes, Baba." "You could find out?" "Yes, Baba." "Then you have not bowed down there, no?" I said, "No, Baba, I didn't bow down." And little bit more smartly, I said that I don't bow to anybody else except you, Baba. Then Baba went inside, and then I gave him the whole account of my meeting with that person. And I told him about that prasad. Baba said, "You can eat." Now, when I was, that answer which came out of my mouth, that I have never bowed down to anybody. Except you, I don't bow down to anybody. There were a few occasions in my mind when I had met some saintly personalities. But believe me, when I just look to my past history, right from my childhood, right from my school days, I have never don't remember to have bowed down to any of the personality, even of the saintly persons. I met some persons. I came in contact with some persons just casually, but I have never an occasion to bow down to them. This is a, I mean, just a retrospect I took about my own life, and that I was convinced that I have not given a wrong answer to Baba. Of course, that matter is over now. What I was talking about that Erech was very expert in giving very convincing answers to the queries of the people. Today, for I think we have reached the time, and I would just tell you one abhang. Abhang means you last time I had sung one abhang before you, abhang by Tukaram, and Prakash, she had asked me some about that, the words he had uttered for about the abhang. Some abhang, some composition of Tukaram, and the saints of that time, the compositions are called abhang. And one abhang which was very Baba was very favorite of Meher Baba, that I will just say in prose, not sing. That abhang is very beautiful abhang. I will explain to you the meaning. Once it so happened that Baba wanted to refer to that abhang, and perhaps Erech was unable to. Erech was just trying to recollect, and then I said, Baba, I know the whole abhang. I told Baba that I know the whole abhang, and Baba said, now you speak out the stanzas. The abhang is like this. आधी होता वाघ्या दैव योगे झाला पाग्या त्याचा येळकोट राहीना मूळ स्वभाव जायना. The original nature of man never goes away, never leaves him. It remains with him, original nature. Now here the example is given. Vaghya is a these are the there is a deity in Maharashtra. The name of the deity is Khandova. There is a big temple on a on a hill, and thousands of people come and pay their respects to that deity. The Khandova is supposed to be the incarnation of Shiva. Now, there is a custom among some of the devotees of Khandova that a child is born, he is dedicated to that god. Now, after that, if he's a male child, he is called Vaghya. Vaghya is the name given to the child. He is not supposed to marry. He has to live on the charity that is that the people give to that place at the feet of that deity. They have to live on that. They have to not to accept any job, do any job, any service, or they have to dedicate their whole life in the service of that deity, that Khandova. This is about the boys. And if the girls are dedicated, they are called Murali. Murali. These Muralis, they are also have to live a dedicated life. They have not to marry. But then the rich people, the moneyed people, take advantage of this, and they live in relation with such girls. So this Vaghya and Murali, they are the people who are dedicated in the service of Khandova, deity Khandova. Now, here what Tukaram says, that Adhi Hota Vaghya, first that person was in the service of that deity as a Vaghya. Vaghya is the name given for such class of people. Daiva Yogi Zhala Pagya, because of his, his luck was there that he became the keeper of taking care of horses. As we know that there are special class of horses which are used in the racing, horse racing. In India, there was Aga Khan. Aga Khan was was a priest class. He was supposed to be the chief priest of that Khoja community, and he was very much fond of maintaining these horses. The one who takes, he has to clean them. He has to give food at a particular time, and he has to give good food, limited food, just enough for that horse, not overfeed him. And then he has to brush his hair, brush his body. That was the job which this Pagya, the one who does this job, he is called Pagya. What Tukaram said, first it was the boy was Bhagya in the service of that deity. By his luck, he became Pagya. He started serving the horses and getting money. But as a Bhagya, he had a habit of calling out by the name. There is one slogan they used to give. Yelkot, Jaya Mallahar. That is a slogan. The devotees of that deity, they give slogan. They shout loudly. Yelkot, Jai Mallahar. So this man was in habit of calling out the Yelkot, in spite of the fact that he became serving he started serving the horses. But that slogan, he was so very habituated to do shout out the slogan that habit never left him. This is one example. Another example which Tukaram gives is of a girl, of a maiden girl who was made a queen. Now the maiden girls are there in habit of going from house to house, just for no purpose. They have a habit of roaming about from house to house. Now that girl was made queen, chief queen of the king, but her wandering from house to house, that habit of wandering that never left her, in spite of the fact that she was made a chief queen. So then the original nature does not leave that person. And lastly, the Tukaram comes to his own nature. Baba used to cut jokes on that. Tukaram says that Adi Hota Santa Sangha. Tukaram was in the company of saintly personalities, sants and sadhus and rishis and munis. He was moving amongst the saintly personalities. After moving about with these personalities, he became God realized. But even after achieving God realization, his bhajan singing or abang singing, he never left him. He still continued with that praise of God through his abangs. So Baba also pointing out to himself, he said that he used to say that after meeting Baba Jan, he lost everything, but he never lost his sense of humor. That sense of humor was an inborn quality of Meher Baba. Is what is in very habit, very nature. That humor was there in Baba's very nature. That never left him. And we have experienced so many numerous examples of Baba having the sense of humor. So this is all for today's. I'm sorry, I may not. I mean, it will take a lot of time if I sing a song, but we may keep it for next time. If you don't mind, I stop here because you have to go for your work and all that, and our time is also over. So for today, Jai Baba to all of you, and thank you very much for a patient hearing. Thank you, and Jai Baba to all of you.
Thank you so much, Pratap uncle.
Yeah.
Arey,
Wonderful.
Ganesh,
Hmm.
Ganesh, I told them story about Aries coming late. Today you are late.
I was 1 minute late, so
No, sorry, Ganesh.
nice to see you. Sorry.
Sorry, Ganesh.
Yes.
We rushed. I mean,
no problem.
we didn't see you, and then Angela said, "Well, we can start because Pratapji is there, and we want to use all the time we can get."
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful, Pratapji. Thank you so much. अब next time Abhang गाइएगा एक.
Yes.
That one I mentioned in that tune. You know, I was listening on one of the tapes. Somebody was humming this song, Deva Machai, that song. You know.
I see.
I have a tape where somebody was humming this. They were actually not singing it, but I did hear at Samadhi somebody sing this. But I really don't have the words and all. So yeah.
Uh-huh. You know the tune?
I do know the tune. Yeah. I can actually play it because the last time I did play a part of it, if you remember right. You know, I mean, I think Ted and some other American gentlemen were singing at the Samadhi.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but yeah. Thank you so much. Beautiful stories.
Jai Baba. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you so much.
Pratap, Jai Baba,
Yes.
Pratap.
Timer, Baba ki
Yeah,
jai.
wait a minute. I wanna hear all you can about Baba and humor. Baba and humor. Yeah.
Yes.
I look forward and thank you so much. These stories about Erich. Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba so much. Jai Baba.
Wonderful.
We have
Wonderful.
Alan. Yeah. So we have Mehechand and yes, Mehechand and yes. Yes,
Jai Mer
Pratap uncle.
Baba. Jai Mer
Jai
Baba
Baba.
Kaka.
Jai
When you are
Baba,
telling
Jai
about the
Baba.
prayers, I recollected my past memories. And during my younger days, we
Yes.
used to do prayer at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Mhm.
5
Ah.
o'clock in the morning. So
5
the
o'clock
prayer
in the
is
morning.
subsequently followed by Mer Baba, Sri Guru Raya Tavacharna Vandani Aarti used to sing in those days.
Yes.
And then I also recollected there is one family still follows that Koti family, that is Prakash uncles.
Yes.
They do 5 times prayer. Morning 5 o'clock,
Yes.
7 o'clock, 12 o'clock,
Yes.
5 o'clock
Yes.
and 7 o'clock. And also recollect the incident which I heard when Padri Kaka asked Baba what is the ideal time to pray. Then Baba said 5 o'clock. And also Baba said, Padri asked, Baba, you are the now present avatar of the age. The people are praying in the temples and church and synagogues and everything. Where that prayer goes, Baba said, all the prayers will come to me. That was Baba told Padri. I just want to share it to you. Avatar Mer Baba ki jai. Thank you, Kaka.
Thank you. But as far as that, as far as you, what you said about that people saying prayers at 5 o'clock in the morning. 5 o'clock, Baba said, because from 4 to 5, 4 to 6 or 4 to 5 or 6, that time is very important, spiritually charged time. And Baba had said that if you pray that during that time, that is very helpful for your spiritual progress. That morning time. And Baba had given his own example. Baba said that Babajan gave me the realization in between this morning time. Exactly on this morning time. So morning time from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, this is very important. All the spiritual powers are concentrated during that particular time. And it is always useful to pray during that time. That is general statement which Baba has made about this prayer. Jai Baba. Now I am waiting for Ganesh to say Jai Baba.
Yes, so we'll say conclude with 3 times Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Thank you, Pratap uncle, for this beautiful
Jai.
evening, and we wait for next Friday. Till then, 3 times Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. So one more thing, one more announcement is like on 22nd. So 21st Tuesday night, we have Jeff's session. So in that Pratap uncle will be coming. So in that he will be speaking during the Jeff's session, which is on Tuesday night.
Oh,
So it is
Right.
for India, it is Wednesday morning, 7:45 a.m.
what time Tuesday night?
When we
10.
have Jeff's session, that is Prakash, what is the time?
It's
Because it is for us.
10 in the night, 10 o'clock in the night, after
Oh.
Aarti. Yeah, after
Yeah,
Aarti.
that's the evening shift.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 p.m. Tuesday
Yeah.
night. So
Yeah.
that's again,
I mean, that's
everybody
a
can join.
that's the Eastern daylight time, but for those in the
Mhm.
West, they have to adjust it accordingly. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
Jeff has requested and Pratap uncle has agreed. So we will have one more
Yes.
wonderful opportunity.
Thank you.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba, Jai Baba. Jai.
Okay, so we'll conclude now with 3 times Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher
Avatar Meher
Baba
Baba
ki
ki
jai.
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 Avatar
Meher Baba ki jai.
Jai.
Avatar
Avatar
Meher
Meher
Baba
Baba
ki
Baba
jai.
ki Jai.
Baba.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai Meher
Jai
Baba.
Meher Baba Kaka, Jai Baba. Thank you, Ganesh.
Thank you. Go get some
Baba.
water. You must be thirsty. Thank you.